Hey guys, we've found a minigun build that slaps and is very viable throughout trials, even underleveled at Apocalypse tier 36. It shreds mobs and bosses very quickly and is comparable in speed to the coveted turret build. I'll admit, I've never been a big fan of walking at a snail's pace, but this takes down mobs and elites quickly, and you can hit up to 13 million damage per bullet on Apocalypse tier 36. Welcome to Dake's Gaming, I'm Dake and I'll be taking you through this minigun build today. If you would be so kind, smashing the like button on the video helps me out a ton and is massively appreciated. Minigun builds have been something I think most people have avoided for a long time because they've simply not been viable, and now we've got the packs tree offering up some fantastic perks which bolstered the effectiveness in a variety of different ways. So let's jump into the details, starting with the class and the packs trees. With our class tree, we're going to be doing a new style tree, which enables you to get some key nodes, but also get some additional helpful nodes which will boost your overall damage. As a slow moving class with enemies rushing you constantly, you want to be tanky. Therefore we've gone mid tree, which offers 4 lots of max health offering 40% max health total. We've selected increased resistance because this is surprisingly helpful in the survivability area. We've taken exposing toxin and marked for execution because we're always inflicting toxic and it's far more reliable than freeze vulnerable application. Reason being, this ties in nicely with lethal devices where gadgets apply toxic through cryo turret and cold snap abilities. As we still have the capability of dealing freeze, I've selected both nodes for extra freeze damage as this will boost us by 30%, which is just too good to pass up on. If you're really struggling and need more survival, just go for the increased resistance and skill leech instead of the freeze damage, because that will help keep you alive. We're going to branch down to hit Adrenalizing Antenna, and along the way this will hit an Anomaly Power node and Wipeout, which deals 20% more damage to enemies under 30% health to finish off anything effectively. Doctor of Medicine will keep you alive with 20% increased healing, and Overclocked will help boost your Anomaly Power. The skills that we are using are Blighted Turret, Tools of Destruction and Gadget skills. I'd recommend looking at Cold Snap or Cryo Turret, as this allows you to crowd control and apply toxic frequently. I've gone with Cold Snap and that's purely because of mod preference. The main reason we've gone gadgets over ordnance abilities is simply because they are quick to use and offer crowd control. When you use Cryo Down, you're able to reduce the skill by 50% and you can continue to keep your AP up by spamming turrets. Turrets also take enemies' attention off you, which is great because the less enemies that are hitting you, the better your chances of survival are. You could swap out Cold Snap and Icicle Storm, as this is a fantastic combination, and you'd still be able to keep your AP bonus up, but also wipe out smaller mobs a lot easier due to the area of effect damage it offers. As your status is high, as it is, they won't be moving. Cold Snap is very effective when used this way, so this could be a hard choice for you. Packs tree wise, I've tested a variety of different methods, and picking the top bottom tree is most efficient because of the end node, which boosts your damage on your ordnance skills by 100% of your status power, which is massive. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more builds focusing around ordnance abilities. Ascension tiers are focused by points on anomaly and prowess nodes. Endurance nodes are good too, but maximizing your damage output is a priority. I'm going to touch on weapons and armor now, but do make sure to stick around until the end, as we're going to touch on how to play the build and also have some general tips for you that you'll find helpful. With weapons, they're not really all that important, but if you have a weapon with Fortress and Mage Rage, you can really accelerate the initial damage output as it lasts 15 seconds. As using minigun is agonizingly slow walking, you're going to be using the skill, dropping it, then running to a more suitable location, so having some weapons that can deal high damage from mods is also a good idea. With armor, this is the most important part. While there are a bunch of mods that will be useful, we won't be able to fit them all onto our build, so there may be some that I miss that you might find preferable. Firstly, you could go all purple if you wanted, but you'd have to be extremely lucky on the rolls. We're looking for anomaly power, status and cooldown reduction. Status power is the most important, but most gloves and boots roll with max health, so you'll most likely have a non-optimized build unless you get lucky with the rolls. The gear I'm using is as follows. Technomancer's mask with Double Trouble, Bang for Your Buck and Anomaly Echo. Double Trouble is a good mod if you're running turrets, as it upgrades the turrets so it shoots faster. Bang for Your Buck for additional ammo, and Anomaly Echo is pivotal for all anomaly power builds, but also firepower, so if you get a good roll, make sure to keep it. On the chest, I'm using Feedback, Fortify and Icicle Storm. Feedback is great, as it means 50% cooldown on your Tools of Destruction. Fortify is one of those mods I'd rather swap out for Damage Absorber, as it offers exactly the same stats, but Damage Absorber gives 10% resistance too, and is a permanent buff, whereas Fortify is only active when the minigun is active. Icicle Storm is fantastic for cold snap builds, and this is how I primarily run this build, hence why the armor set isn't really that important. On my legs, I'm running Captain Hunter, Freezing Boost and Shatter. This is a god roll, and we're increasing damage against enemies and elites. There's a total of 24% extra damage to frozen enemies and 16% to elites from using Captain Hunter. On the gloves, I'm running Euthanizer, Radical Therapy and Arms and Anomaly. Again, these are god rolls in my opinion. We're focusing on multiplicative damage, which really raises our overall damage output, and Arms and Anomaly will be a great addition to boost our anomaly power, which in turn deals more damage. You'll want to make sure that you have invested points into critical chance, as hitting crits on a minigun at times can be very painful. And finally, on the boots we're running Upgraded Gun, Better Parts and Toxic Lead. Upgraded Gun is fantastic for elites for that 30% resistance piercing bonus. Better Parts is a dead mod in this build, and Toxic Lead will keep our ammo up. As said, you can run any armor you like as long as you're stacking the key attributes, status power being most important because when we have more status power, this feeds into our overall damage output, which is substantial. Do not use the Flame Leper set with this build. Blightfire does not work at all with Toxic Lead currently, and might not at all. It really depends if Square Enix and PCF realise this and decide to fix it, like they are going to with Euthanizer and Radical Therapy. My main advice would be to have two sets of armor, one which is aimed at mobbing and the other which is aimed at bossing, so you can just get in there and be most efficient all the time. Some mods I would recommend focusing your attention on would be Danger Close, as it provides up to 24% anomaly power, which will make a huge difference to the damage output. Power Assimilation, as this will boost your anomaly power nicely and get stronger for each elite on the field. I think Virulent Compound is good and would work in harmony with Captain Hunter, definitely a mod worth using on a boss build. Long Winter is decent for crowd control, and the poison damage ticks nicely from Cold Snap using lethal devices. Face Melter and Frostbite are nice as well, because they lower the resistance of enemies, which in turn will deal more damage to enemies with resistance. How to play this build is really quite easy. Spam your gadget and decay skills to raise your anomaly power by 70%. Proc, Mage Rage and Fortress, that initial boost, then activate Minigun and shoot. Once Minigun is active, Mage Rage and Fortress will fall off, giving you a reduction in overall damage, but if you're doing the final Arbiter on a high Apocalypse tier, you'll still 2-cycle him very easily, and the 1 cycle is possible, but that's more down to luck. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're still watching at this point, you better be subscribed and liking the video. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next one.